Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of the BMW M4 rebuild. In today's video, my goal is to pretty much get the whole interior disassembled, or at least this side. That way when I'm welding or whatnot over here, I don't want any burn marks on the seats or on the panels. And also in the trunk, there's a bunch of panels that I have to remove. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Alrighty guys, I think I pretty much have this thing completely ready to go ahead and start disassembling or tearing off the old quarter panel. Now with the newer German cars, they have a bunch of these sound pads or whatever they are. It's like it's some kind of material, and the reason why I'm moving all of them out of the way, because when I start welding, if a spark hits that spot, it'll start a fire super easy, and I definitely don't want to do that in this car. Usually the Hondas have it too, but it's just a little bit. If it burns, you have enough time to spray water on it, but I will have some water next to me just in case. So pretty much this whole rear end is disassembled, and here is the side. I did take the fender liner off, the side skirt, and the interior. I pretty much took everything apart here. So I think we should be good to start drilling out these spot welds and start removing this old quarter panel. Alright guys, check this thing out. So the reason why I went ahead and just cut it off completely, that way it's so much easier for me to drill out everything afterwards, and then I can just pretty much get access underneath, and it'll be easier to get this quarter panel out completely. I've seen some people do that, so I thought why not try it, and here I am trying it. It's actually gonna work out perfectly. And over here it is a little bent, the inner piece. I will straighten that out once this is drilled out and completely removed. And also here, this will be removed. Pretty much the whole quarter panel just comes like that, and then so this whole thing will be brand new. So I don't know if I showed you guys the quarter panel. Here it is brand new from the dealership. This thing is in perfect condition. I'm not sure what this is, probably like some paint or something, but anyway. So now I'm probably gonna wrap it up for today guys, because it is getting pretty late on me. I have a few things to do today, so I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Tomorrow early morning we're gonna go ahead and start removing all these pieces, getting it ready for the new quarter panel, and then we will just pretty much start welding it, and hopefully I can weld it in tomorrow. Alright guys, without wasting any time, let's go ahead and start drilling out the old quarter panel. Basically there is some spot welds right here. I'm probably just gonna use a special sanding belt that will just grind these off. And over here, this piece was already replaced, so this is the old spot welds. I'm just gonna, like I said, use a sanding belt to drill them out, and this thing should come right out. Alright guys, the old quarter panel is completely removed, and I already went ahead and cleaned out the metal. I will have to spray some weld through primer before I start welding, but right now my goal is to get the new quarter panel ready. I have to cut it at a couple spots. Let me show you guys real quick. Basically over here I will be cutting it somewhere probably right here, and over here it'll be cut somewhere like that, and over here probably somewhere up here, and then we'll go ahead and mount it on, and if it fits perfect then we're pretty much ready to weld it. Alrighty guys, check this thing out. The new quarter panel is on. I already installed the tail light, and there is a clip broken in the back, so it's kind of wobbling. Probably have to get a new one, but anyway, here is the gap right here. This is what it looks like. Looks really nice. Everything aligns absolutely perfect. All these lines just turned out perfectly fine, and over here too looks perfect. And then going on to this side, everything aligns really good. Even going by these the old holes right there, the hole is still underneath, pretty much it aligns perfect. The reason why it's a little bit off is because the quarter panel is overlapping right here. Once I cut it evenly, then it'll align perfect. And then looking by these holes too, this aligns perfectly. Now let me show you guys this gap. Check it out. Nice OEM gap. So now my next step is to go ahead and mark some spots on the quarter panel where I'll have to be drilling them out. I'll probably just use a Sharpie or something and put dots every, I don't know, every 6 inches or so, probably less. But I can kind of tell by the old ones. I can go from here and just keep going like that. And also over there, I mean, this is pretty much common sense that every hole is going to have to be drilled over there. And over here, the quarter panel just sits on the wheel well, and I'm going to have to apply some sealer and just, you know, that way it holds. And then I'm going to have to roll this fender in. I don't have that tool, but we'll see, maybe I'll figure something out. And obviously here, drill a few holes too, that way I can weld it from this side, and also the same thing up there. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Alright guys, everything is prepped. I welded a plate underneath. I sprayed everything with self-etch weld through primer, so it should be all ready to go. Now let's go ahead and mount on the new quarter panel, and then we can start welding. Alrighty guys, it is the next day and I am ready to start welding this quarter panel in. But before I do that, Let's go ahead and walk through all the gaps one more time, because sometimes overnight the gaps could possibly move a little bit, because the quarter panel is holding on some self-tappers right now. That's the only thing that's holding it. So let's go ahead and check if all the gaps are the same, and if they are, we can go ahead and start welding this quarter panel in. Alright, let's start off with this gap right here. This thing looks perfect. I like it. Moving on to the back. Man, these gaps are good. This taillight is going to be sitting like that. It needs to go in just a hair, but there's a lot of adjustment room in this taillight. This thing can move a lot, so I'm not worried about that. So it looks like all the gaps are good, guys. We can go ahead and start welding this quarter panel in. Alrighty guys, so everything is welded on, and I realized that I forgot to put my filter on the camera, but it is what it is. Some of the parts up there I did weld them off camera because my stand doesn't reach high enough for me to catch some of that stuff, but everything is welded. Now all I need to do is grind all the seams and all the spot welds that are welded. And here is the back. Everything looks really good here. So now let's go ahead and get to grinding, and once I'm done grinding, I will go ahead and take it off the frame machine. Alrighty guys, everything is grinded. I already went ahead and put some seam sealer on the bottom and over here as well. I did put a little extra. I always like to put a little extra in this area because this is where all the water goes down, and if you don't put enough, sometimes it leaks inside, and I definitely don't want that to happen on this car. So I put a little extra. Once it's painted here, it will look just as good as new. So this is pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up my area here real quick, take this thing off the frame machine, and the next step will be taking it to my painter. Alrighty guys, it is off the frame machine and let's do one final walkthrough. I already installed the latch here, and this door just opens and closes perfectly fine, and the gap looks absolutely perfect. And here is the trunk. This gap looks all even all the way around. This tail light is gonna go like that. Probably gonna have to get a new tail light because the tab in the back is broken. But let's see how the trunk opens and close. Perfect. Everything looks really good on this car. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Alrighty guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. Man, we got a lot of progress done today. Basically, we took the old quarter panel off, installed the new one, test fitted it, welded it, put all the seam sealer, everything just turned out absolutely perfect. And that was all done in 2 days and in one video for you guys. So with all that being said guys, in the next video I will be taking this car to the paint shop, and I'll try to have everything in one video. For instance, like taking the car there, bringing it back, and assembling everything. Hopefully I can get it completely done in the next video, so be sure you guys stay tuned. And as of the truck guys, I will have a video on it soon. I just thought I'd get this done before the truck. Since this car is technically for a customer, I'm just rebuilding it for. So that is going to be a wrap guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like my videos, share them with your friends, and follow me on Instagram at Rebuild with Nick. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.